Tollman, can we please have let's do 3-word prompt for Expendables 3.
Oh, I see what we're getting at. It'll be...
I see what? No, it's too many.
No, it's too many. Yeah.
Can we count New Year's as one word?
We can count motherfucker as one word, yeah. Sure.
Okay, Happy New Year's, motherfuckers.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
I don't remember that scene. And
we were just talking about this before we started recording.
I watched this yesterday. I don't remember that at all. But then again, I was flipping between subtitles on and off every now and then to try to like catch stuff. It was bad.
I'll be honest, for this one, it didn't hold my attention as much as the other ones did.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if y'all felt that too, but hold on a second. Hey, welcome to the Overtalking Podcast with your host, Ken and CJ. Say hi, CJ.
Hi, CJ.
This is the show where we only talk about the Expendables.
That's it. After this, we're
That's
done.
it.
Show's over.
At least for all month of May. So ExpendMaybles. And let's just bring him right back on. Of course, we got returning guest. That's
the
right.
Toll Man.
It's me,
It's the Toll Man Steve.
I'm back 3 weeks in a row, baby.
Yeah.
And I got more energy than the first couple weeks. Actually, it's all the same. Maybe less. We'll see.
Less over here, but I'm pretending.
Make it till you make it, baby.
Yeah. So look, we talked about we watched Expendables 3 because that's the next one.
Yeah. With not just Expendables 3, we watched the Expendable cut. A whole 5 minutes extra.
The expended cut, I think, is the way that CJ put it. But yeah, so we actually checked on Max for the extras section, and there was another cut that was just 5 minutes longer. Didn't say any details about it, but it was longer, so that's the one we watched. We don't know what the extra content is. We think maybe some extra swearing. I don't know.
I just Googled the line I said to start this episode, and it says it's on there. And I think it's part of the expended cut.
Okay. So
part
I
of
think
that 5 minutes of content.
then that confirms my theory was that it was the unrated version in my brief Googling while I was watching the movie. Of course, I'm on my phone watching this.
Well, that's why I was thinking maybe you were distracted as I was. I don't know. The previous two I watched in horror, and this one I just kind of lost interest halfway through. But yeah, maybe that was just me.
No, I feel like I was... I focused on most of it. But that's kind of like... I think the subtitles, again, are really helping me with this.
This was the first time where, I would watch a scene and then have to go like, what? And then turn it on, rewind it 10 seconds, catch the line they said under gunfire and go, oh, okay, that was not worth it. And then turn it back off and watch the rest of the movie. So try. Yeah. It's and while we're on that topic, it's the third movie. It's another movie where a character references that they can't understand Sylvester Stallone. These are lines they're writing into the movie, acknowledging like
that one.
No one can understand you.
Which part was that?
Jason Statham and Sly are in a plane and they're on the phone with Harrison Ford. Gasp! Harrison Ford's in this one. He replaces Bruce Willis essentially, and and Harrison Ford hears Jason Statham talking, and because Jason Statham has a British accent, is making jokes of like, I can't understand what he's saying. And Harrison Ford even says like, what language is that?
Yeah.
And then Sly says like, yeah, sometimes I can't understand you. And Jason Statham says, look who's talking.
Okay, yeah. I missed that part of
bit.
it. But I knew the whole Harrison Ford like making fun of Jason Statham thing.
Yeah,
so again, another member of his crew basically acknowledging that no one can understand what he's saying.
I'm glad we jumped right into Harrison Ford because during my screening of this movie, everyone I watched with, also friends of the pod, Emily, Eric, and Carissa, we noted that Harrison Ford was within 2 lines the best actor of this whole franchise.
Yes.
Besides maybe that one guy in the first movie that was pretty good. I forgot his name.
He was that good.
But we were looking
Eric
at his
Roberts?
face and like, oh look, his facial muscles are actually like moving in a way where he's showing emotions outside of his words.
Yeah.
And that was like the first time we were like, okay, all right.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? I thought the same, but not about him. I actually thought that about, and love him or hate him, probably hate him, Mel Gibson, I thought was actually very good in this movie, acting-wise.
Okay, we all disagree. I was going to say it's Antonio Banderas.
I mean, Antonio Banderas goes without saying. That
Sure.
He's got the Riz, baby. So much charisma, that guy.
There were a couple of Mel Gibson scenes where I was like, okay, yeah, this is a guy who was in real movies.
Yeah.
But I got it. But yeah, no, I mean, all the original cast, it's all the same. Nothing has changed in any of their acting performances. But that's why we like it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, before we dive too far into this, let's take a quick break and we'll come back and talk about what the plot was going on with this movie. So we'll be right back.
I had to remind myself mentally what the plot was. Trying to be like,
yeah,
me too.
Kind
I'm
of
working on
changes
that right now.
midway through the movie.
Great to have you back. No better place to be.
We were close once. We started this whole Expendables thing together, but we had a falling out.
Welcome to the 21st century.
Hey, Barney. You should have killed me while you had the chance. You want the kids? Come get them.
You were stupid enough to get yourself into this space! We're the only ones crazy enough to get you out of it!
And we're back on the Overtalking Podcast, always talking about Expendables. So it's Expendables 3, and we got the Toll Man, who's going to walk us through what the plot of this movie was in 30 seconds or less.
Ready, go.
All right. So the movie opens with the Expendables trying to save one of their former members from prison, and it's Wesley Snipes who plays Doc. And he was in prison for tax evasion, which is what landed him in prison in real life.
Yes.
But then they got him so they could do a different job, but during that job, they found out one of the oldest members and founding members of the Expendables, Mel Gibson, is still alive.
Oh,
so then
sorry,
the whole movie
5
is just about trying to kill him. I don't really understand what the beef is. I guess Mel Gibson's just better at killing people.
And
Or
time.
he likes it more.
I genuinely didn't understand what the beef was either. CJ, did you? Or did we just all fly over our heads?
Like, there's a scene where Mel Gibson is trying to explain it to the young crew as like a very sort of way of, explaining to the audience why there's beef.
Yeah.
But yeah, to me, it was Mel Gibson wanted to keep making more money and like become a boss of mercenaries, not just a mercenary.
Oh yeah, like on the plane, he's saying that, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
or they're in the car after they've like captured Mel Gibson.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Yeah.
There was something like he mentioned how Sly still had a moral compass,
Yeah,
and I was like, well, these people they're killing so many people and civilians, as we noted last episode.
in the airport. Yeah.
So it's like if he's got the moral compass, then Mel Gibson must be
really
a
bad.
sociopath.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're getting at. Well, so the other part of the plot that we didn't talk about yet was that during the first conflict or first quote unquote reintroduction of Mel Gibson's character, which by the way, every time they show one of these characters and there's like dramatic music playing and it's supposed to be like, they all know who this is and they don't like,
the audience don't.
yes, it's like an unearned reveal kind of, other than just the star power. Like that's it.
Yeah.
But anyway, he shoots and maybe fatally wounds Hail Caesar, played by Terry Crews.
Yeah, we thought he got shot in the butt, but then when he ended up in the hospital, he had a wound on his chest. So I was like, oh, maybe it went through his butt into his chest.
It looked like he got hit in the back.
Yeah, I thought he got hit in the back, which I'm like, oh, that guy's dead.
Well, he hit him one in the leg, and then the other one, I was like, oh, that's his butt. He's fucked now. But enough to knock him out in the hospital for the whole movie.
The whole movie?
Yeah.
Whatever time lapse has happened, we have no idea.
Right.
Could be 2 days, it could be months. No clue. Yeah, so we get introduced to Wesley Snipes, and then minutes later, Terry Crews gets taken out of the movie. To me, it feels very much like they have a one-in, one-out minority role with this franchise.
Well,
yeah.
This was one of the trivia questions earlier on, but Wesley Snipes was supposed to play Hail Caesar in the original movie. So very much a kind of substitution there.
Like, oh, now you can be in the movie? Okay, we'll figure out Terry Crews gets shot, I guess, and then you come in.
God. But one of his great lines, he's kind of, I don't know, going toe-to-toe with Jason Statham's character. Wesley Snipes is going toe-to-toe with Jason Statham's character because they're both knife people.
Both knife guys.
Because they just ran out of different mercenary characters. And I think he said
So
he was in the
stupid.
Expendables when Lee Christmas was still sucking on your daddy's titty, which I forgot to ask for a clip of, but man, that was
That's
a
good.
weird line.
I was so because he had been in this like black site prison or something for
Yeah.
like 8 years, and Sylvester Stallone's like, oh, I need to break him out because he's got this like pretty unique skill set, but he's like just good with knives too,
Yeah.
right?
It's just a second Jason Statham.
Right.
He's just like they both do the same thing, and he was also a medic, and he didn't do like Terry Crews gets shot in the butt, and he's just like sitting next to him as is everyone else. He wasn't doing anything for him.
Yeah.
He
So I'm like, all right.
he drove a forklift thing.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
then
he's
that
good
was-
with a crane.
Yeah.
But in that first scene was where he's like, this is their first time working together again in a long time, and they're like, all right, we got to come up with a plan. He kind of just like runs ahead of everyone, and he goes up to this door, and he kicks it open and says, "Happy New Year's, motherfuckers!" And then he starts shooting everyone, and then they cuts back to them. They're like, "Whoa, man, this guy just took all of them on his own." And you guys don't remember this scene,
No.
I didn't remember him saying that. I remember the scene.
Yeah.
okay?
I don't
Because
remember
like,
that.
yeah, they're hiding, and they're like, he just goes off on his own. And they're like, "Oh shit!" And like, that's why we got this guy. He was rotting for 8 years, and we need him for this one moment.
And also, are we supposed to know? Is this actually in December or something? Is that like a valid thing to say? Or January or something?
I don't know.
I don't know. They just have different holidays that they got to work in. I feel
Yeah.
like, but they did it. It was good. I
Yeah.
liked it.
did
That was
a
probably
really good
my
job.
favorite line, honestly. Can I talk about the other parts of the plot that I really should have put in the first 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Just like
yeah,
a really
please.
quick part of it.
Yeah.
So after Terry Crews gets shot in the butt, Sylvester Stallone's like, "Yeah, I can't do this anymore with my team, blah, blah, blah." And he basically like fires his team, and he's like, "You guys all have your lives ahead of you," which they don't. They're all old too, so I don't understand that at all.
Right,
But he's
yeah.
like, in order to do this job, I should get a younger crew who actually has their whole lives in front of them, who actually has more to lose. So they had to do a whole like, let's round up a crew montage, led by none other than Frasier,
Yeah.
Right.
who
Kelsey
takes them
Grammer.
person
I
to
don't know.
person to pretty much get the same type of people but younger in his crew. And it was just like a weird 20-minute sequence where I'm like, is this going to be relevant? Is this worth it? And I don't know where I stand on it. But I think the scene stealer that they got, who wasn't even part of the original crew they got, was Antonio Banderas,
Yes.
whose character's
Yeah.
name was Galgo, and
Yeah.
he was unhinged the whole time, and he was my MVP of this movie.
He was the pick me girl of the crew, and yeah, he was great. I don't know. It was very unhinged is the right word for sure.
I swear they were saying his name differently every single time. Like even he was saying his own name differently.
Right.
I heard like
And I wouldn't
Gago,
have-
Gogo,
Yeah,
Galgo.
I wouldn't have got it without the subtitles. I truly wouldn't have got it.
Okay. Yeah, I agree that I think he's probably the best part of this movie. So during this montage, basically it's revealed that Antonio Banderas has sort of tricked Frasier, and Frasier's like, "Wait, we said young guys. Like, no, forget it. He's old." So Antonio Banderas is trying to convince Sylvester Stallone that age is a state of mind, he says. Fun fact for you guys, Antonio Banderas today is as old as Sly was in the first Expendables movie.
Yeah.
So he is younger. Yeah.
And he's the
much.
one going like, "I'm not old, I swear." Saying
Yeah,
this to
much,
Sylvester
much
Stallone.
younger.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't even really look old. He just
No.
looks like an adult, unlike the other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I don't know all of the other people other than one of the guys starred opposite of Sydney Sweeney in some romantic comedy recently.
Oh, and he's in Twisters.
Oh. I'm
Yeah.
excited for that.
Glenn Powell, or as
Yes.
Carissa said during our screening, Colin Powell.
Colin Powell. Yes.
So
Same person.
that's how we're going to refer to him from now on, and that's how we
Love it.
did during the whole screening. Part of the Bush administration, and he ends up in a young expendable.
Who
Someone
knew?
goes back in time.
Yes.
But one of the other people is Ronda Rousey, who I literally didn't know was in one of the later movies, but I had called out.
And we
as
called
why
it.
Wasn't she
Yeah.
in it? Yeah.
You called it.
We called it.
I love it.
Also, when I was watching that scene, Emily was like, "Is that Ronda Rousey?" And she was wearing glasses, and I was like, "No, it doesn't really look like her. Maybe." And then It was.
She
And
pulled
the
a
next scene, she's
Superman.
not wearing her glasses and she's got her hair to the side, and I'm like one of those fools that doesn't know that Clark Kent is Superman. All it took was glasses for me to be like, who the hell is that? No, it's definitely not her. And I'm like, it was.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But she's
Master
the
of disguise.
first like notable female member of the crew.
Yeah.
Right.
But unfortunately, that's where it ends because there are no other females with lines in this whole movie,
No.
which was a decrease from the last movie. So
Surprisingly.
right.
there was room for improvement, like
gone
we've
down.
talked about this whole time, and they didn't do it. My goal for this movie was I wanted two women to talk to each other, and they
That's
couldn't even
it.
get two women to talk in general.
They got there was no like Lee Christmas's love interest isn't even in this movie. Yeah, it's literally just Ronda Rousey, and yeah, she doesn't talk to any other women. It's
she
wild.
gets, like,
it
hit
felt
on.
like it was 2 for 1 maybe because she's so good, but
Yeah, I mean, she
It
gets
doesn't help.
objectified the amount that you would expect for this crew.
Yeah.
But yeah, she doesn't. Yeah, she's got some good action sequences for sure, and they
Yeah.
utilize like long sequences with her, which is nice. But yeah,
then
she's
she
got,
gets hit on by Antonio Banderas during action sequences, and
Yeah,
yeah,
Doesn't she says at one point she just says like men or something like that in the movie.
yeah. Oh, and the end when they're in that bar, she comes up to Sylvester
yeah.
Stallone and kisses him on the cheek, and I was like, damn. Well, he didn't kiss her really, but that would have been like a streak of 3 movies no kissing.
Yeah.
So that still counts. And she says some line about like, oh, if only you were like 20, 30 years younger. And I was like, what the hell? Did
Yeah.
he write that line in there?
yes,
Yeah.
The answer is yes.
100% because he wrote the movie.
Yeah.
yeah.
She says
absolutely.
if you were 30 years younger, that's the age gap.
If only you were my whole age younger, that would
Yeah.
be great.
Yeah. Didn't like that.
So-
even the kiss on the cheek was bad. Don't
Yeah,
do
that's
that.
too much. So that the young expendable crew is her, Colin Powell, and then 2 people that I didn't really know. One guy I recognized from possibly UFC, and another guy who I truly had not heard of.
Yeah.
And I was mad that
think he's
Frazier
just an
wasn't in the
actor.
mix. Yeah.
Not just Frasier, Bonaparte.
Was his first name Napoleon?
That's I have to assume.
Oh God, it has to be.
And he's Frazier.
Yeah, he's Frasier. Yeah, I like that in the 3rd movie of the franchise, they're trying to kind of reboot it midway through the movie of like, no, it'll be young people this time. we
Right.
promise. Oh, wait, but then the young people get kidnapped. Okay, bring in the old guys again. They got to rescue them.
Which is so obvious
Yeah.
the whole time when they're setting that
Yeah,
up. And I'm like,
of
oh, this will
course.
make for a good second act with a new team, but they're going to bring these old guys back in.
You got
Gotta
it.
know that's going to happen.
When Kelsey Grammer and Sly are going around different places, at one point they're in a plane, and well, by the way, most of the time they're traveling, it's 100% in front of a green screen, like
Yeah.
a bad green
I
screen.
thought it was like every time, yeah.
Yeah. But when they're in the plane, there's some weird dialogue about, like, do they know where they are? And he looks up and he says, is that the Big Dipper? Oh, we got to turn around. And the scene ends. And it was so awkward.
So stupid.
Yeah, that was,
Their attempt at a joke.
I don't know. I mean, it's pretty on brand with the rest of the jokes
Yeah.
in this franchise. So
True.
you can't really, Some of them just don't hit. Most of them.
Yeah, I was
Almost
do
all,
and
yeah.
do any of them?
But I like how I guess they Colin Powell was like he's like the tech guy,
Yeah.
which was kind of like a new role, and then
Oh, yeah.
Dolph kind of picks up a little bit of tech because they're like, oh, we're all just old and shoot people, so like one of us should be the tech guy. So he's got a little computer on his hand in the 3rd act, which I thought was kind of funny because he went to MIT, I guess. So he should probably be the tech guy
PhD.
anyway. But
Yeah.
during the whole like last sequence, Powell's character kept talking about how the battery was low. He brought it up so many times, and he was able to like hack in the mainframe like so quickly from this little like
this-
Dolph's little handheld thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
shut
a
everything
little
down.
touchscreen device that doesn't
2-inch
have a
screen.
keyboard. Like,
Yeah.
so weird.
I love anytime, like, I love pretty much anytime tech is used in movies because they never get it right, which is fun. But even this is like, he clearly, when they're shooting that, is just like a plastic thing with a green screen on it. He has no idea what the display is going to be post movie. So he's using multiple fingers at once to just like type away on the 2-inch
And
touchscreen.
all kinds of swipes and whatever. I'm like, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
This really doesn't make sense.
He's using like 3 fingers at once, and the screen isn't changing or doing anything, and he's tapping away. It's like, I almost got it.
And then one of the other guys, I think his expertise was motorcycle.
Yeah, that's right.
Because the whole final battle, he was just riding around a motorcycle, and he had one big thing where he did a really high jump, and he jumped off of it, and I'm like, oh, that's what that guy's role was.
Yeah, well, yeah, that guy, we're introduced, he's like actively in the army or something like that, and the way Fraser sells him is like he designs all this cool weaponry and tech, and it's like, but that's not like that's the army's or whatever. Like, he doesn't just have
motorcycle.
that. Yeah.
Right. Is that the one who like just showed off a really cool gun and then they said you're in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That like didn't show really any skills other than he can pull a trigger on an expensive weapon. Like,
Yeah.
stupid.
And they do sort of show that coming back though, in that he has a gun that's able to like turn a corner, and he has a little screen so he can see where the gun's going to shoot and kills like 2 people that way. Which also would have been just as effective to just pop around the corner and fire off 2 shots.
Yeah.
Because they don't know he's there.
I'm pretty sure Jason Statham did like some no-scope stuff behind his back, and I'm like, yeah, you could just do that too.
Yeah. Anything's possible.
Yeah.
I'll be very curious to see if any of these people make it back in the 4th one, if they're now part of the crew.
Yeah, I don't know.
It feels like the crew's too big. I really hope they're just kind of...
They forget
I don't really think any of them should be back in it.
That was my criticism too. It felt overstuffed, especially with the big last fight scene where everyone's in it. It's just like there's too much happening here.
Yeah.
Like, it's stupid.
There weren't any parts where it's like I was like, oh, this is awesome. It was all just like, okay. I mean, the coolest parts were maybe like Harrison Ford and Jet Li flying around in a helicopter. Oh, and Arnold.
Yeah. Tranch is back.
Yeah.
The guy who's on the poster of the movie.
Literally says, get to the chopper.
Yeah, he had his one.
The guy who's on the movie poster
to pull,
is maybe in the movie for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what's happened in every other movie, except for the first one.
Yeah. I think it was in more scenes this time than previously, but yeah, it still did.
Yeah, but still like the same like arc where it's like,
right.
Here I am in the first act for a little bit, and then I'll come back in the 3rd act for more of it, like a lot of it.
I'll show up to save your butts.
Yeah.
Because I'm Tranch.
Yeah, Harrison Ford just takes the Mr. Church role.
Yep.
And they are the same.
Did they say what Harrison Ford's name was?
I didn't see it.
It's something with a D.
Oh, Drummer. Was it Drummer? Okay. But he was palling around with Jet Li for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And Jet Li was pretty much just shooting people, didn't really utilize a lot of his actual ability.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Totally
So
underutilized.
Cool. And then they slip in a good Jet Li short joke. They got the one.
You gotta. It's a checklist.
So checked a lot of the boxes.
And he said he came back because he needed more money.
Yeah, and he got more money. I think he got more money from Drummer.
Right.
That's a whole arc there for a character in 3 movies.
Great.
Our first one. Maybe.
So deep.
I really don't know how they can really up the ante for the 4th one. This is the most you could have done.
It's gonna be more people.
You think there's gonna be a 3rd crew?
A 3rd, even younger crew. They're at the colleges.
They're
recruiting.
like, you're all wasting your lives.
They're like going. Yeah, it's college. It's Expendables college, and they're professors now of fighting.
Of fighting.
Yeah, it's like Scrub
Welcome
season
to
7.
Fighting 101.
Yes. Yeah.
Welcome to Knives 101. It's me, Jason, or at least Lee Christmas.
I hope he catches himself.
Yeah, it's me, Jason. Oh, Christmas.
Shaw. No, wait.
No. Which one is this?
Crank.
Yeah, Crank.
Yeah, I'm Crank.
Guys, it's something we talked about after we finished recording last episode, but we've been doing the listeners a disservice and have not been playing 6 Degrees of Fast and Furious.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys have one? I feel like it's like Jason Statham is in these movies. So it's very easy. But
well, we got Ronda Rousey in Furious 7.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, which I did want to point out. Ronda Rousey is in Furious 7. This movie comes out in 2014. Furious 7 comes out in 2015. It's a back-to-back for Ronda Rousey.
Back-to-back action
That
movies.
was her peak,
Yeah.
actually. Right there.
I hope she shows up in the 4th one.
I hope so too. Yeah.
I hope
She's good.
there's gonna I'm calling it. There's gonna be 2 women in the 4th one.
I just want 2 women to talk to each other. I think asking for 2 women in the crew might still be too much.
Yeah.
I think enough time has passed. They've learned their lesson. It's like a full decade by the time the 4th one comes out.
When did the 4th one come out again?
Last year.
Oh, it was last year. Okay. Yeah, well, then there should be. All right.
I don't know. All these old men, I don't think they're going to be getting woke or anything in these movies.
How old is Sylvester Stallone now? Like 90?
I think about, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, well, we'll see.
He's 77 years old.
He looks much older.
Oh, okay. So many tangents, but there was another scene that I had to rewind to see if I got it right. I think it's when he's firing his crew. They're at the bar. He says, it doesn't matter what he says ahead of this or even after. What the audio we hear is him saying the word "so," but his mouth moves way too much for that to be the word, that it was clearly something else, and they just ADR'd "so" on top of it, but it not at all fits up to how his mouth is moving.
There should be a good supercut of all that stuff.
Yeah.
I want there to be more of that for him specifically.
There was another time where I was like, that is a terrible ADR job. His audio is so different than everybody else's. I can hear the quality.
I'm surprised because all of the other effects and stuff in this movie are so high quality.
Top notch.
And you have way better, like the villain in Madam Web. You have so much better technology nowadays.
Yeah.
To get a performance like that.
You can see people's dreams.
Yeah, exactly. And the ADR for that was top notch. Best I've seen.
I watched a 1-hour YouTube video on the ADR for Madam Web, and I
will unironically watch that and enjoy the hell out of it.
I will send it to you.
Send that to me. Yeah,
it's very good actually. Any other tangents?
Do we have any other Fast and Furious connections?
Oh yeah, can we do it without at least one step, right? Not someone who's in Fast and Furious.
It's hard.
Yeah. All right, I can get this.
Okay.
So Colin Powell is in Anyone But You or Anyone But You with Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah.
Who's in Euphoria with Zendaya.
Oh, there we go. Getting into Marvel.
And then that'll get us in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
And then we can get to Jason Momoa. Right?
Well,
wait,
no. No, and Vin Diesel is Groot in Guardians.
Oh, yeah.
That's
That's lame when yeah.
There's got to be some other Superman, Marvel connection.
Yeah, let's do a different Marvel connection.
Wait, we're going way too far. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Sylvester Stallone is in that movie.
Oh, he's in 2 also.
Oh, that's right.
So there.
Yes. He's one of the Ravagers. Yeah, he's pretty forgettable.
Yep.
He is.
Which is why you just brought it up now.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry, I do have one more tangent. There was a time, of course I can't remember the movie. The movie bombed, but Arnold Schwarzenegger basically kind of tricked Sylvester Stallone into taking a movie part that Arnold knew was going to bomb.
After this movie?
No, before. This is much earlier. Apparently, the movie was interested in Arnold Schwarzenegger. His agent got a hold of it. Arnold was like, no, this is going to bomb. This is not going to be a good movie. But Arnold's agent sort of hinted to Sly's agent or something like that of oh yeah, Arnold likes it. We'll probably get him attached to this. And Sylvester Stallone immediately was like, no, you got to put me in the movie. I can't we can't let him take it. I want to be in it. And then the movie went on to bomb really hard.
Weird.
Yeah, that's cool.
You
I like that move by Arnold.
Yeah.
I'm on Team Arnold for that one.
Yeah, me too. I think it's pretty funny.
All right. Is it time?
It's time.
It's time for...
Hey, did you know that?
That's right. For new listeners, this is the trivia portion of our show where we pit our guests and CJ head-to-head to say who knows the most about what we watch. Toolman, CJ, are you two ready?
Ready.
It's Tollman.
I'm sorry, Tollman.
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. First question. Open-ended.
Love it.
Why was Terry Crews in the one who was shot in this movie?
Too many minorities.
Yeah, I said
That's
it.
the answer. You can't really be open-ended about
Yeah,
that.
there's a
That's
one
the
in, one
answer.
out rule. They can't bring another one on without getting rid of one of them.
Okay.
Yeah. And then one
Yeah,
woman.
that's-
Well, yeah, that's yeah.
That might be a reason, but that's not the main reason. Terry Crews was doing a lot of filming for Brooklyn Nine-Nine at the time, so he couldn't step away
A
too
different
long.
show where someone gets shot in the butt.
Yes,
That's right. A
It all
far
comes back.
superior show.
Yes.
he begged Sly to make sure that his character was not killed off, but just shot in the butt.
All right, so we both get points for that one. Is that
No,
Yeah, we were
neither
both
of you
right.
get points because you were not.
Oh,
that was not what I was.
We were
looking
still
for.
right though. It's
Yeah, I
it's
think we were.
multiple right answers. One.
It could be. Okay. Why was Bruce Willis replaced with Harrison Ford? Another open-ended one. Looking for just speculation here.
He finally realized how dumb these movies are.
He had an awakening.
He went and
Was
saw
he
the
doing
movie.
a newer Die Hard one?
Yeah, Die Hard
Okay.
4.
He
or
was
something?
doing a press for a re-release of Sixth Sense in theaters.
Or what, was this
that's all
around
I
the
got.
time that his Looper came out with JGL?
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's probably
Are
right.
you okay?
It's one of those.
No, it's none of that.
No,
was
it
just
is. It's
money.
gotta be one of
It was
those.
Just money. They were offering him $750K per day, and he wanted $1 million per day.
Are you kidding me? He
Wow.
barely did anything in the other movies.
I know it was only for 3 days. Too,
yeah, I was going to
but,
say,
Yeah.
that probably is a day's worth of shooting, and that's it.
And then they got a better actor in Harrison Ford.
No.
Okay, worked out for the studio there.
Seemed to be good. Yeah. All right. What's the body count for this movie?
Oh.
For reference, the first one was 188, and the second one was 482.
Jesus.
I mean, you would hope that they would up the ante, but the second one had a lot of civilian deaths that really ramped up that total.
That's right.
I will say 550.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say 600. I think it's got to be more. They got to keep going up.
All right. Tollman gets the point, but you both are way too high for this one. It's only 221.
Yeah, okay, 'cause there's
Ooh.
no civilians that are dying. It's the airport scene.
No civilian deaths. Yeah.
That's why are people paying for this movie if less people are dying?
I know.
Oh, you know why it also is? It's because Terry Crews is sidelined for most of the movie, and he's the one that kills the most people.
That's right.
That's true.
He does say it's time to mow the lawn.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. And then he mows down probably maybe 100 of that 200 number that you gave.
All right. Tollman is in the lead with just 1 point so far. Next question. Which character had the highest kill count in this movie?
That's a good one.
Yeah. Is it Harrison Ford with the helicopter? It's. I feel like it's not a person on the main crew because they don't seem to really like.
I'm wondering if it's Arnold on the helicopter because when they come in to help them,
Yeah.
he's mowing down like a ton of people.
Oh, that's true. It's not Harrison Ford shooting. Yeah, it's them. It's him and Jet Li. Yeah, Jet Li, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. What's
say-
everyone's final answer?
I'll say Arnold.
Arnold and Jet Li?
Yeah.
Okay. Nope. It's Jason Statham.
Yeah.
See, that was my other answer, but it seems like he was just knifing too many people.
Yeah. I think just cumulatively it just added up.
Yeah.
Wesley Snipes was second with 73. Randy Couture was actually third with 65. And
Jason
then
Statham
Sly
had
with
more
55.
than 70?
Jason Statham had 106.
That's
Wow.
insane.
That's like almost half.
Yeah.
I know.
Who had, of the people I have in front of me, which I think is both crews total? Yeah, it's pretty much everyone. Who had the least number of kills?
The motorcycle guy. All he was doing was
Okay.
riding around his motorcycle the whole time. He maybe killed like 3 people.
Okay.
Harrison Ford.
Oh, damn.
No. So, yeah, I think the motorcycle guy is maybe Kellen Lutz. I don't know who that is,
Yes,
but
that's
that
him.
might be him.
Yeah.
A tie with Ronda Rousey.
With how many?
Well, she was like beating the crap out of
19.
people. I don't think they were. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm surprised that guy got 19 kills.
Yeah.
I don't know. Must have driven over some.
Yeah. It definitely wasn't Galgo. Galgo was killing people,
Yeah. He was wiping
and
them out.
he was loving every second of it too.
Yeah, maybe in the museum. I forget about that. They shot a lot of people in there.
Oh, that's right.
All right. What is it? 3-0? Is that right?
You didn't get any of those. It's still 1-0.
No, I got the motorcycle guy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, 2-0.
Kellen
Okay, 2-0.
Lutz.
That's right. Kellen Lutz. That sounds like a fake name.
Lutz?
Next question.
He's popular.
Yeah, the comedian, the guy from 30 Rock and
30
Seth
Rock,
Meyers.
Which character has the last line in every Expendables movie? And I don't know if this extends to 4, but this was on IMDb trivia, so it's something.
It's got to be Sly or Statham, right?
I'll take whichever one CJ doesn't want.
Okay.
I'm trying to. Putting my mind in the ending scene. It's got to be Sly, right?
And then Steve takes Statham.
I'll take Statham.
Statham is correct.
Damn
Lee
it.
Christmas has the last line in every Expendables movie.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like Sly would be more jealous.
He does, yeah. Now
You're right.
I forgot the ending line. He calls him like a demented bastard again or whatever, a demented proud father. And Sly says like, you could have left out the demented part. And then Statham says like, I meant it as a compliment or something. I don't fucking remember.
That was the last line?
I think so.
Dang,
And I remember in the first one, he threw a knife at a dartboard and he said, "The boys are back." Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They hop on their motorcycles and drive off into the sunset.
Perfect
All right.
ending.
Tollman's taking the deep lead here. What's the next question? It is, how long was the first cut of this movie?
All right, Steve should go first.
Okay.
3 hours even.
Okay. Higher or lower, Siege?
Lower.
Wrong answer.
Come on.
3.5 hours, believe it or not, was the
Yeah.
first cut of this movie.
Should have been.
God.
I would have watched that in one sitting. Probably napped for 2 of the hours, but
Right.
I still would have been sitting.
God, a Snyder cut of these movies? Can you imagine?
Like, what was the extra hour that they had for this movie? Like,
We were joking. We wanted more scenes with Antonio Banderas, and would call it the Galgo cut, and it would just be like a whole like dive into his backstory. So we're gonna get that trending. Release
That'd
the
be
Galgo
good.
cut.
I did want to know
Absolutely.
if some of those were just like improvised, that they were just like, talk about
Just go
anything.
crazy.
Just go.
yeah. I hope
Yeah,
so.
when they left him that first time, when they're like, "Oh, we can't recruit you. You're too old," he just started like he was just pacing around and being like, "All I'm good at is killing people.
Yeah.
I want to be in this so bad." And I'm like, man, this guy should be in the crew. He wants it.
Yeah. He got his wish.
All right. We'll say this isn't the final question, but there's no way for CJ to catch up at this point. What is the Rotten Tomatoes tomato meter score in percentage, closest without going over? Steve, since you're way in the lead, you will go first.
Well, and
This is
we
the
always
critic score
know
on Rotten Tomatoes.
this question is worth 5 points. That we've always done that. So that's
Yeah, it was a quintuple or nothing.
True.
What was the last movie again? Was that like 60s, 70s?
yeah, that was the high one, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was like way higher than I thought.
yeah.
Yeah, 67
Jeez.
for 2, and 1 was
20 something.
24.
I would do like 60. I feel like that's a good spot. It's not like a great movie, but it feels like similar to the second one. There's more people.
It's got to be better.
Galgo.
Yeah.
Also, real quick aside, Galgo was at Benghazi.
That's
Did
right.
we not talk about that?
Yeah, his backstory.
Oh my
is
was
that
that's
he was-
right.
Hillary Clinton's fault that he ended up there in the first place.
Butter
And we can
emails.
stop talking about that. Her butter emails led to Antonio Banderas, his whole backstory. We all laughed as soon as he said Benghazi. We're like, no way. Why would they do this?
Incredible.
Damn.
You said 60?
Yes.
Lower. You're higher, so I'm gonna go with $1.
CJ, you're on the board.
Yes.
32%.
32? It was that much lower than the second one?
Yeah, I guess
These
so.
movies don't make any sense to me, besides the first one being bad.
Look, that was not 5 points. Steve,
What?
Steve, you won. Congratulations.
Hey. Nice.
The audience score on Rotten Tomatoes was 48,
Yeah. Okay.
and I'll just say the
crazy.
letterbox score was 2.4, which is pretty not great.
That's lower than both the other ones.
Yeah,
So people didn't like a whole new crew in the mix?
I guess so, or I think people just didn't watch it,
Yeah.
or they just jumped in on this one and were like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah.
I don't know.
Movies are crazy.
Can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, Expendables.
I feel like there's like a pattern where first one tanked, second one somehow got over 60. This one's back down. I think fourth one's back up to like 60.
We can only hope.
Yeah.
I mean, the second and the third feel pretty similar to me. even though it's kind of like you get more bored with it because it's similar.
Yeah.
But they still feel the same.
I mean, they introduced like a whole bunch of new people though. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, they're keeping it fresh.
right?
Certified fresh. Apparently not.
Except not. Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Well, I think it's time for our ratings then.
You've heard us debating. We know you've been waiting. So now it's time to hear our ratings.
Tollman, on a scale of 1 to 10, would you rate The Expendables 3 for you?
So far, the first one you gave a 3.5. The second one you gave a 5.5. What's the third?
Yeah, I don't like this enough to give it a 6.
Yeah.
I'd probably give it a 5.5 again. If I gave the second one, I probably should have given it a 5 then. I like this one maybe a little bit better because of Galgo.
You could do like a 5.6. Just give it a
Yeah.
edge.
Yeah.
I don't have to do this in half point.
You can do anything you want.
All right, I'll do a 5.6.
It could
Galgo,
be a 5.55 if you want.
Right. Repeat.
I'll do a 5.75. Galgo will get it
okay.
halfway between a 5.5 and a 6.
Okay.
That's the only reason. Otherwise, the movie is no, I'll make it a 5.8. Frasier gets another 0.05. Yeah, I'm good with that.
8. Okay.
All right. Siege?
For me, yeah, somehow like even though this movie gives us actual like backstory for multiple characters, not just one character this time, it still felt more or like boring, even though there's more people and probably just as much action and stuff. I just felt bored, but maybe that's also because this is the third of these that we've watched and they're not good. Okay, so I gave the first one a 2.5. I gave the second one a 5. Yeah, maybe like a 5.2 just because we got a tiny bit more, but I feel like it's not at all a better. I hate that they like just have Terry Crews out of the movie. He's one of the best people, clearly one of the best actors, and like
We said that so many times. And
Yeah.
Sidelined.
yeah, sideline one of the best actors and charismatic guys in general. But I did really enjoy Antonio Banderas. I hope he is back because he's a lot of fun. I like that one of them is just like so positive and hyper and annoying to them. It's a nice dynamic. So yeah. 5.2.
Okay. For me, I need a reminder of what I had.
The first one you gave a 3. The second one you gave a 4.5.
Okay. Yeah. Ugh. I like parts of this, but also, I mean, I can't deny that I just felt like really bored in the middle of this movie. And I am going to chalk it up to just like burnout, honestly.
I was going to say, is this Expendables fatigue? Are we all not objective about this because we've been watching and talking about Expendables for 3 weeks in a row?
Probably. Yeah. So, man, I liked Go-Go or whatever the hell his name was.
Nobody knows. I don't think
Galgo. It's Galgo.
No, I don't believe
There's
it.
like a lot of star power. I mean, Kelsey Grammer was good too.
Who's that?
Harrison Ford. But like, man, it's just bad. Like, we didn't even talk about the final scene when they're in the bar and then all the young people start singing some like cliche song and it was just fucking awful.
Yeah.
But they instantly became friends. Oh yeah, it was like they were like, oh, what's this super old country song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, come on, what the hell?
What'd I give the first one?
The song is
3.5?
Old Man by Neil Young, I'm pretty sure. The first one you gave a 3.
Okay, I'll give this one a 3.25.
Dang. Back to the first one. The first one sucked, Ken. That one was really bad.
Yeah.
That one was bad.
Remember, do you remember how bad that movie?
Right.
That wasn't even a movie.
Yeah,
really
the first
bad.
one was not a movie.
The second one was a breath of fresh air because it felt like an actual movie.
Yeah.
So don't forget
Okay,
the feeling.
I'll bump it up to a 3.75.
So you
Pretty close
like
to a
this one
4.
worse than the second one?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I like the second one better.
What was your rating for the second one again?
4.5.
Okay.
It's all shit.
Yeah. Not going to disagree there.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm not hopeful for the first one. For the fourth one.
I'm real worried. I mean, especially since the title is literally, I'm not joking. It's Expendables. Like the 4 is in the fucking name.
Yeah.
But if there was that much time in between the third one and the fourth one, you got to assume there would be at least another full crew.
Yeah.
Is everyone still alive? Like
That's
actually?
a game we can play.
I don't. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the listeners, the third one came out in 2014. The fourth movie came out in 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's
9 years
with
later.
whatever new characters come in, let's try to connect them to Fast and Furious because that'll
Oh,
keep us
yeah.
thinking about
Specifically for new people? Okay.
for new people, yeah,
I like that.
and not
Yeah.
through Jason Statham
Or Sly.
or Ronda Rousey
Yeah.
Right.
or
Okay.
Sly.
All right.
New
Sounds
people
good.
only. I'm saying 5 new members at least. They're really up in the ante.
Easily.
They're
Yeah. Are we over under one more female character?
I think they're
that's
going to do
tough.
2. I think they're going to do 2
Two total. Okay.
2 total.
I think they're gonna go backwards. I don't think there's gonna be any female characters.
Okay.
Ronda Rousey's just gone.
I'll split the difference then. I'll say 1. I think Ronda Rousey might be gone, but they might do 1 new female character.
Okay.
Okay.
But you don't
I think
think
that's fair.
she'll have any lines with another
Well, she
female
can't
character?
then.
Unless it's like a villager like it was in the second movie.
Right.
Yeah. It'll be like
But-
a server at the bar, like the bartender at the bar that was hanging
Yeah.
out
I mean,
at.
we got to see Mel Gibson's possible wife, and she like was mouthing something, but the audio wasn't on, so it doesn't count as a line.
I forgot
about that. So like that
She
doesn't.
doesn't have
She
any
was in it,
speaking
so there's no line. We talked about that too.
God
Like she wouldn't be
damn
able to
it.
get like a SAG card or anything because she didn't deliver any line.
You're totally right. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
That it's just like weird
God.
music.
Yeah.
What a weird choice. God.
Great movie.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, totally.
Well, Tall Man, thank you again, as always. Do you have any words of wisdom at the end here?
Do things that make you happy. Sometimes you can burn out doing something like watching too many expendable movies. Take time for yourself and maybe watch a Fast and Furious movie.
There you go.
There you go.
Cleanse the palate.
Round it out.
Yeah. Cleanse the palate a little bit. Remember that movies can be good.
There's other movies than Expendables 3, like Fast and Furious. Yeah, absolutely.
Furious 7.
All right. Siege, what do we got?
Follow us on all the things at Overtalking Pod. Email us at overtalkingpod@gmail.com. Go to our website, overtalkingpod.party. You can type in the word Steve to find all of his previous episodes.
Oh, no, they're here. They're riding in on a motorcycle. And,
Dude, a wheelie.
oh, yeah. Oh, really? Like, they just went off a ramp that I didn't know was there.
Is that Kellen Lutz?
It might be. No, it's the Overtalking Overlords.
Ah, dang.
They're
Ah,
here to
shoot.
remind me to remind you, if you like the show, please go on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and rate and review where applicable. Reviews are where they help people find the podcast, and we spend no money in advertising. So if you like the show, please tell a friend and spread the word. We'd really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And they've driven away. And as we always say at the end of every single Expendables episode, that's right.
We are still back.
We're still back.
One
We're
more.
still here. One more.
One more.
We'll be back.
One
next week.
more till freedom.
All right, bye.
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 This episode of the Overtalking Podcast was produced by Ken and CJ, edited by CJ. This week's special guest was Steve. Music by Justin Peters. Look up on Nate Richard. Check out Nate Richard on Instagram at Nate Richard. And Nate Richards is on